Group therapy relies on a specific set of therapeutic forces to drive recovery. Psychiatrist Irvin Yalom spent his career cataloging these mechanisms, providing leaders with a clinical blueprint to trigger these effects during every session. It starts with immediate emotional relief. Clients discover their deepest struggles are shared by others in the room, a concept Yalom called universality. They also look across the circle and see peers who are further along in recovery, providing living proof that actual change is possible. This animated diagram illustrates how these therapeutic forces build on each other. From the central group hub, early connections form through practical exchanges. Members impart factual information to one another, and they gain a vital boost to their own self-worth simply by helping a peer, a force known as altruism. As the network grows denser, the group functions as a live behavioral laboratory. Members actively practice socializing techniques in real time, and they consciously or unconsciously imitate the healthier behaviors modeled by the leader and their peers. Then the work goes deeper. Heavy structural pillars emerge as members engage in interpersonal learning, gaining insight into their own relationship patterns through direct live feedback. This creates a secure container for catharsis, the immense relief of safely expressing bottled-up, strong emotions. At the outer edges of this web are the most complex psychological functions. Members often project old, unresolved family dynamics onto the group, allowing them to work through those patterns in real time. They also face heavy existential realities, confronting personal responsibility and the meaning of their own choices. But notice how an encompassing boundary locks all of these disparate nodes together. This is group cohesiveness. It is the vital sense of belonging and mutual trust that holds the entire structure in place, functioning exactly like the therapeutic alliance in one-on-one counseling. To support those psychological forces, a leader has to engineer a physical structure capable of holding them. They start by deciding how members enter. They might run an open group with rolling admissions, or a closed group where a fixed cohort of people moves through the entire program together. Then they establish the logistical parameters. For groups focused on deep interpersonal processing, the ideal size sits tightly between 6 and 12 members. That ensures enough diverse voices for interaction, while keeping the circle small enough that everyone has time to speak. Next come the behavioral boundaries. Leaders set strict ground rules that protect the space, requiring consistent attendance, punctuality, respectful conduct, and absolute sobriety before anyone walks through the door. Not every client is ready to step into that environment. A rigorous screening process is necessary to identify individuals in acute crisis, active intoxication, or psychosis. Those clients require a different level of stabilizing care before they can safely participate in a group setting. Deciding whether to mix diverse backgrounds or group similar peers together is a deliberate architectural choice. These structural decisions dictate how safe members feel when they are asked to be completely vulnerable. Maintaining absolute confidentiality is the primary task for any therapeutic group. The space relies on an explicit clinical norm. Members possess an ownership over the shared disclosures that ends at the exit door. But this setting introduces a difficult paradox. The counselor is legally and ethically bound by confidentiality. They cannot, however, legally guarantee the silence of the other clients sitting in the circle. This harsh reality must be explicitly explained on day one. Members need a clear understanding of the risks so they can make their own informed choices about exactly what and how much they disclose to their peers. It is the clinical leader's ongoing responsibility to actively reinforce privacy as a cultural norm and to step in immediately to confront any breaches if someone crosses the line. Safety in this setting relies on the continuous reinforcement of mutual trust. This social contract requires the counselor's active vigilance and a shared commitment from the members to protect one another's privacy. Sitting in a circle and baring your soul does not feel natural to everyone. The effectiveness of this entire structure relies heavily on a client's cultural background. For individuals from communities with deep communal and oral traditions, the group format often clicks immediately. But for clients from cultures that prize extreme privacy, speaking to relative strangers can feel incredibly daunting. Leaders have to navigate deeply ingrained expectations. They must account for differing norms regarding how emotions are outwardly expressed, how genders interact in a shared room, and how deference to authority figures plays out in conversation. A client who is deeply distrustful of self-disclosure might require careful one-on-one preparation first. In some cases, they might fare much better starting with an entirely different therapeutic modality. A competent leader reads the room. They adapt the composition, preparation, and flow of the sessions to serve the unique human ecosystem sitting in front of them, ensuring the structure works for the clients rather than forcing the clients to fit the structure.